So Howard Stern had to address some accusations that Kim Kardashian made last week on episode 7 of their reality show.
When did that come on?
Hulu. They have
okay.
a big partnership with Hulu. So Kim K was on the show and she was talking about her 2016 Paris robbery when she was robbed in her hotel room for all the jewelry. And she alleges that Howard Stern basically didn't believe her and made a whole mockery of it on his show. Let's take a listen to Kim K talking about Howard Stern.
Howard Stern was like famously mocking it all the time and saying that it was just, I'm sick and it's such a joke and I made it all up. I remember he was so defiant about it.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Okay.
was literally upset.
So she said this, and she's also said something similar around Kanye West as well too. But so she said this, and then Howard Stern said, "Oh no, we're not gonna let that fly, not at all, because that is not what I said." So he responds with his original comments because his show is recorded. He responds with his original comments. Let's take a listen to the original comments.
If this woman was robbed at gunpoint by a bunch of dudes and they threw her in a bathtub and tied her up or whatever they did, I mean, that is frightening. If it is a farce, then really they should go to jail for that.
Well, I don't think it is, but you know what? Either. There were no security cameras in the area, so there's no footage of what went on.
The one time the Kardashians don't have a camera, something interesting.
Yeah, it's something really going on, something real.
First of all, we live in an era where you should question everything you hear, especially because of and everything you see nowadays because of the era that we live in. And she's a reality show star, so why wouldn't you think everything is a storyline?
Yeah, but when she said mockery, I thought I was going to hear him be like, "Oh, you got robbed." I thought it was going to be something. He basically said,
he literally,
if it happens, it's frightening. And I feel sorry for it, but he was like, something doesn't sound right. What's wrong with saying that?
Well, he didn't say that either.
Well, he said something to that
He said,
effect.
"God damn."
He did say something that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, Robin said, "I don't think it's I don't think it's untrue," and he said, "I don't either." He literally said, "I don't either."
He said if it happened, it's tragic. If it was a farce,
they
blah,
should
blah,
go
blah.
to jail.
And let's just to be clear, because in another episode of the Kardashians, she brought up her ex. She doesn't say Kanye West, but during that time she was with Kanye, and she says that even her ex accused her of faking the robbery for a TV show. Around that time, people did believe that Kim had faked the robbery for the show because they thought that it was very ironic that there were no cameras with her and that there was no security with her, knowing that she had all this jewelry in the room and all the things that people knew she would be
But I thought
in
they
Paris
said
at
her
the time.
security had dropped her off and made sure she was in her room. So
her security made sure she was in her room and then went out with her sisters, and which wasn't unnormal for them because the security guard would secure the whole family. But people were just saying, right? So yes, but people at that time, and a lot of outlets. It wasn't just Howard Stern. A lot of outlets were just trying to put the pieces together and saying how far-fetched this was, and they didn't believe her. Some people didn't believe her. But Howard Stern comes back in on his show and basically says, if I had something to say, I've said a lot of crazy things, I get to it. Let's take a listen to Howard Stern.
On the latest episode of the Kim Kardashian show, she accused me of saying that she faked her Paris robbery attempt, and she's very emotional about it. Fortunately, anyway, in this case, our show is taped, so we went back and looked up what I said, and nothing could be further from the truth. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. I would characterize that discussion as a very fair assessment that some people are saying it's fake, which was true. And we said, we don't think it's fake. We think that she went through something horrible. Some guys came into her room and threw her in a bathtub and pointed a gun at her. And I said, that's really frightening. By the way, let me say something. I have said so many awful things in my career. You don't need to make up stuff.
And also the fact that she put words in Howard's mouth for TV is exactly why Howard thought that the robbery was probably a storyline as well.
Now y'all see where I was getting with bringing this in. Because of all the people that you're going to say said something, Howard Stern is not the one.
He's not biting his tongue.
At all. He's going to clear it up instantly or repeat what he said. So,
that's not what I was saying. I was saying the fact that she put words in Howard Stern's mouth for TV is exactly why Howard thought that the robbery was for TV as well.
We in the same neighborhood.
She creates storylines.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And then all them people who did say it was fake, like publicly, and that you didn't go at them, but you went at Howard Stern, who didn't say it was fake. But it was a lot of people that did.
Well, by the way,
people were just asking questions too.
By the way, Kim did that for exactly this.
What we're doing
I'm
now.
going to use Howard as a storyline because I know Howard going to go back and talk about it. Then it'll become a talking piece on other shows. Because I had to ask you, what is that? What does the show even come on?
Yeah, I didn't even know the show was still on.
Yeah, it's still on.
Bravo, right? It used to come on Bravo, right?
No, they were on E. They had that big relationship
with
with Ryan Seacrest on E.
Yeah.
But yeah, so speaking of other things in the news that might be real, might not be, Joe Tacopina, Wendy Williams' attorney, was on Nightline, and he's saying that she'll be out of her guardianship potentially this year, which is like we only have weeks left of this year. Let's take a listen to Joe.
What's the plan you have to get her out of the guardianship, and when can we expect some movement in court?
The plan is this. There are guardianship attorneys, and we're watching and waiting. They've assured Wendy by year's end she'll be out of guardianship. No guardianship should feel like a sentence. And honestly, Wendy's does. Wendy's feels like a sentence.
She said it was $18,000 a month she was paying this
approximately, facility. Yeah, imagine. Just imagine. Of her money, not the state's money, her money.
But if she does get free of this, is there still going to be somebody that's watching over her to make sure that everything is quote unquote okay?
So from what I was told once I saw this, because that's a pretty tight timeline to, say, I was told that if that even happens this year, and it probably won't, yes, it would just be a limited guardianship. So there would be somebody with her to still figure out certain things like financial decisions, She also has she's openly talked about dealing with substance abuse, right? So someone checking in on her when it comes to that, she'll be able to come and go like we've seen her do, more recently. But there will be somebody there. But from, the way that they're angling this is that she's going to be 100% free. And I was told that is not what it's going to be.
What'd be dope is if, when she was coming up, Charlamagne lived in her basement. Yeah, Charlamagne kind of returns the favor and allows her to live in his basement.
Yeah, he probably got a real nice basement.
Real nice
basement.
Got
his basement finished.
With a studio and everything.
We don't be finishing our basement.
You better put Wendy in no basement.
His basement nice though.
I don't even have a basement.
I know, that's right. Mm-hmm. You have an attic?
Nope.
He don't got no space for Wendy.
I'm talking about a gas room. Yes, you did.
I live in a trailer.
You look like you live in a trailer.
Double wide trailer.
No, you don't. Lying. No.
That's all we got to wrap after this one?
You got one more?
Yeah, it's real and fake. Matt Barnes decided to clear up again some rumors about him paying an AI model $61,000 because she was trying to extort him, allegedly. Let's take a listen.
I've sat back dealing with personal, real family healing and making sure my kids are good and just trying to get my life back in order while I've sat back and watched the internet lie about me the whole year. Lie from me being gay to me talking about showing an abortion to me telling some girl not to do a reality show, and then I get back from Dubai and I get back and I see all of a sudden I'm suing an AI model, or I got played by an AI model, and all these little bottom feeding blogs pick it up. Shout out to the ones that are real and know the from the bull, or at least check. You guys believe that I got played by an AI model and I'm suing them? You see someone like Gilbert, and I had a conversation with Gilbert. He addressed the bullshit. And it kind of was, from there it caught fire. And I told him, bro, after all we've been through, bro, tap in with me and see if it's real. And he said he apologized. He didn't know it was that deep. But y'all can't believe everything you motherfucking hear.
So he didn't get got by an AI model, or he did?
It was just a girl from Instagram. You were about to say something? I'll explain, Jess.
I don't know what none of these stories are, but it's just because Matt Barnes is hot. You know what I'm saying? The All the Smoke podcast is hot. I was watching the fight this weekend. Lamont Roach versus Isaac Cruz. And they had the All the Smoke logo in the ring. They had Salute to It Is What It Is, Cam and Mace. They had their logo in the ring too. But All the Smoke is just a hot podcast. And when you're a hot podcast, people are going to use you for content. That's just the way it is. So,
they be on them.
So Matt should take that as a compliment that all of these rumors and all this gossip has been spreading about him all year.
I think the only issue is that it affects his family unit, because he was saying, so there was a real girl that him and his ex, they had took a little break from each other. He was DMing with her. He posted a video about this back in November. He ended up paying that girl because when he got back with his ex, who was pregnant at the time, and he told her, she said, I'm going to release these text messages. So he paid her because he didn't want it to come out because it was a high-risk pregnancy. Right. And because of how hot things are with him, now everybody picks up his stuff. Yeah. So he was trying to, clean it up, and it just took its own life from there. But the girl is a real girl. He's said that multiple times. Okay. That's why he's just ask me the facts, y'all. I'll tell y'all what's going on. Because he does address a lot of his own stuff.
Well, make sure you subscribe to the All the Smoke podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network.
Yes.
Salute to my guys, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
With Loren. All right. Now, when we come back, we got the mix, so don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Woke up. Wake you up. Wake that ass up. Program your alarm to Power 105.1 on iHeartRadio.